How to change your life in 12 months. Let's go. So, first of all, 12 months is actually a very good amount of time for you to actually change your life completely. However, what I like to do is I like to break it down into smaller segments because for me personally, and I know for a lot of other people, 12 months is a really big and like daunting, scary amount of time. It's like we see it as this big, big task, and it's so much harder to do compared to if you just break it down into maybe 3 month segments. So that's what we're gonna do. 3 month segments. Our goal right now is just to change who we are, maybe just a little bit, every 3 months. And by the time we do it 4 times, by the time we do 3, 6, 9, 12 months, we'll be completely different. Yeah, so the reason we do this is just because it's way easier to keep track of how much we change and what we change within those 3 months than the 12 years. And it's way better to see the progress. We can do a little task at the end of every 3 months. At the end of every 3 months, we can say, oh yeah, let's look back and see what I changed. Let's look back and see how happy I am. Let's look back and see how much I improved. If we do this 4 times, if we do this consistently, we'll realize that we're actually making a lot more progress than we might have done before I put you on this routine. So first of all, step number 1, this is the most important step. Find out what you're passionate about. Find out what your life calling, your life purpose is. In a way, we have to figure out why we do what we do. For me, for example, it could be YouTube. Why do I do YouTube? Why did I pick this specific thing? I do it because I'm actually trying to help you, and for my own selfish reasons, because I like doing it, because I actually improve myself while I record these videos. For other people, it could be, I don't know, studying to be a doctor, studying to be an architect, something like that. We have to figure it out as early as possible. But a big mistake that a lot of people do is they say, oh, but I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what career I want to choose. I don't know if I want to be a businessman, if I want to be a doctor, if I want to be an architect. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I should do. I'm thinking about doing this. I'm thinking about doing that. They're thinking about it. The big mistake that so many people make is they never choose. They're way too indecisive. I was like this. I was way too indecisive until one day I just said, fuck it, and I just started recording videos. This was like over 2 years ago now. I just said, fuck it, okay, and I'll just do it. And I remember back then, I was like contemplating, oh, should I do YouTube? Should I do dropshipping? Should I do that? Whatever. As I was making my first like couple of months, as I was recording over the first couple of months, I was also trying different things, because back then is when I realized I'm not doing anything by thinking about it. I'm not actually doing anything. I'm not making any progress in life. I'm not making any progress in anything if I'm just thinking about doing it. There's this analogy that'll really help. Imagine you're driving a road and you're at a T-junction. So you're driving like this, boom, 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 and then you intersect another road. So it's like a T-junction. You're right here. You could go left or right, but you don't know which way to go. What do? If you have any sort of intellect at all, no offense, but if you have any sort of intellect at all, you would have said, I'll just go either way. If you don't know which way to choose, if you don't know which way to go, just go one way. Let's say, for example, you turn this way. For me, this is right, for you, 4 years left, whatever. Let's say you turn this way, and it turns out to be the wrong way. What do? You don't keep going. Just go the other way. And then you realize, oh, this is what I wanted to do. So many people are stuck at this intersection for months, thinking, oh, should I go left? Should I go right? What should I do? This analogy basically explains how many people have the decision to do one thing or another, to do one business or another, but they never choose, because they don't know which one is the right one for them. How would you know which one the right one is for you if you haven't tried either of them? My advice to you is just try one. I was like this before, like I explained. Before I was trying my YouTube channel, I was thinking, oh, should I do dropshipping? Should I make a clothing business like my friend did? Should I start a dropshipping business? Should I do that? Whatever. There were so many options. Until one day I was just like, alright, fuck it. I'll just do what? I'll just do one. And so I made my YouTube channel. And I found out I actually really fucking enjoy making videos. I actually really enjoyed it. Then, of course, I tried the other things. They didn't really stick. I think for me, I was kind of lucky because I picked, in my opinion, I think I picked the correct one the first try. But so many people are stuck at this T-junction thinking about, should I go left? Should I go right? What should I do? And they wonder why they don't make any progress at all. They wonder why they're not successful. It's because you're not actually doing anything. You're just thinking about doing it. So my advice to you is whatever idea that you have right now, do it right now. Do it right now. As soon as this video ends, just start working on that thing. If you were thinking about making a YouTube channel, just make it right now. Give one piece of advice, one piece of content on whatever you want it to do. If you were thinking about dropshipping, quickly make up a website right now, make a TikTok, boom, start advertising your shit. Your Chinese fucking products. If you're thinking about making a clothing brand, find out how to make clothing, boom, boom, boom. In a couple hours, you could have it done. You could have the sales page up. Basically, just the point of the point of this section is to explain how a lot of people just don't make decisions, and it's the reason why they don't make any progress. Next up, non-negotiables for this 12-month self-improvement routine. Self-improvement year that we're doing. First of all, the gym. Do I even need an explanation for this? But I'll give you one anyway, just because like maybe you're a fucking retard or something. But the gym is an absolute non-negotiable. If I look back to who I was before the gym, insanely insecure. I did not like who I was, but then I started getting to the gym. I started working out. I became a little obsessed with the gym. I'm fucking amazing looking right now. No, I'm not trying to be egotistical about it, but it's the truth. I do look better than most people. That's just the truth. That's not to say that I'm, wow, so good looking. But if we take the average of everybody that's alive right now, I am better looking. That makes me feel better about myself. And I'm not embarrassed to say that. I'm not embarrassed to say that it makes me feel better about myself. A goal that you should have right now is in 12 months, or every 3 months, like we explained before, every 3 months, you should look noticeably different than you did 3 months before. Basically, the routine that I'm on, the routine that I would recommend to you, is very simple. Push-pull legs. Depending on how hard you actually want to go, which I would recommend going very hard, and also depends like what type of body you have. If you're like skinny, I would recommend like, actually no, either way, I would recommend going like 6 times a week if you're trying to lock in as hard as possible right now. Right now, I'm going about like 3-4, like around 4 or 5 days a week, average of 4 days a week, because I have other priorities and I'm pretty happy with how I look right now, and I'm making pretty steady gains. So right now I have to prioritize other things. But where you are right now, if you're just starting off on this like self-improvement protocol that I'm putting you on, this 12-month/3-month protocol that I'm putting you on, then you have to go as hard as possible in the gym. Basically, a quick tip for this is just make sure you go to failure every time, every set, and to make sure that you are going to failure, just like think about how your face looks while you're working out. If you're at the point where you're working out and you're making those like weird fucking like idiot faces like that, then it's like and like you're barely hanging on, barely like lifting the weight, then you know you're doing good. Next habit that I'm going to teach you is absolutely amazing, life-changing. It's meditation. Meditation is amazing for you. Not for the reason that you think, oh yeah, I'm going to become more spiritual. No, not that. It makes you think better, quite literally. It helps you make decisions. For the past couple of months, like over the summer, I didn't really meditate as much, but recently I've started to get back into it, like over the past 2 months, because like we're not in summer anymore. I started to get back into it, and it's like, I feel way better. I feel way more grounded. I feel way more present. Meditation, in the way that we're going to be doing it, is meant to help you focus better. A quick explanation of meditation, it's basically just a cycle of focusing on something constant. In this case, we're going to be using our breath, so that's what we're going to be focusing on. Focus on something constant, lose focus, realize you lost focus, and regain focus. That's literally the whole cycle. Every time you do this, imagine an XP bar goes up for your attention span. Basically, what meditation does is the exact opposite of what scrolling does, what doom scrolling does to you, like a fucking idiot like we all are. I used to doom scroll so much. It basically does the exact opposite. Doom scrolling takes away from your skill of your attention span skill. Meditation adds on to it. Imagine every time you do one of these cycles, you're gaining XP, you're gaining experience, your attention span is literally becoming better. You'll realize that after enough reps of this, after enough, you can tell I go to the gym, after enough cycles of this, after enough times that you do this, you'll realize you're able to focus way more, and you're able to get distracted less. You're able to regain your focus, because whether you know it or not, but while you're studying, while you're quote unquote focused on something important, like I don't know, scripting videos or studying, whatever it may be, whether you realize it or not, but your mind goes off so much, boom, 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 thinking about that girl, thinking about, I don't know, fucking equations, whatever it may be, your mind goes off so much. The more you meditate, the more you realize, the more you realize that this work task is a meditation, is one of those cycles that we're doing. Just think about it like this. It's the cycle that I told you before while we're meditating, focusing on the breath, losing focus, realize you lost focus, and then regaining your focus. Imagine that, but while you're studying. You're studying, you think about something else, realize you were thinking about something else, go back to studying. You don't realize how often this happens while you're studying, but the more you meditate, the less of this will happen. You can't really change how much you think during studying about other things, how much you get distracted, but you can change how often you realize you get distracted. And that's the biggest difference, especially for people like me, people like us. I'm fucked in the head. I'm kind of fucked, where my life is self-improvement at this point, and without it I would be fucked. I sort of need it. If I'm not on it, then I'm just going downhill. And that's what meditation does for you. It basically just helps your attention span much better. Next up, you're not gonna fucking like this, but socializing. A lot of self-improvement cunts, they cope with this. They say, oh no, I'm going on monk mode, Imangaji monk mode, I'm not gonna socialize, I'm gonna be locked in. Okay, sure. You might do that, but you're gonna be depressed. You're gonna be a sad motherfucker the whole time. How about instead of that, we do the lock-in thing, we do the hard work task, we focus, we meditate, we go gym, we do all of that, we're locked in, but we also socialize. We also literally become happier from socializing. We improve our socialization skill. We learn to talk to people better. If you're a guy, then chances are, you're probably straight, and you probably like girls, right? What a lot of guys like to do is they like to make this cope inside of their mind, where they say, oh, I don't care about girls. I choose not to be with girls. I'm just locked in. But to that I ask, because I was like this, right? I had this mindset and I realized it. To that I ask, are you sure you choose not to, hook up with girls every night? Are you sure it's a choice, and, you just don't have that option? A lot of people, it's, I'll give an example later, but a lot of people have that cope inside their mind where they choose not to do it, but they say they choose not to do it, but in fact they don't, because they didn't have that choice to begin with. If you had that choice, if you were insanely attractive, insanely wealthy, and then you didn't hook up with a girl every night, and then you didn't have all these situationships and all that with so many girls, then I'd understand. Because you have that choice, you have the ability to get what you want. But most of these self-improvement geeks, people like us, they don't have that choice. An example that I like to think of is with religious people, Christians especially. I'm going to use Christians because I've been around them more. I'm Christian myself, right? So what Christians do is they make this cope up inside their mind, like, oh yeah, I choose not to be with a girl. I don't have these urges. How don't you have those urges? You're telling me that you're not biologically the same as other people. You're telling me that your biology is so different that you don't get the urges because God is through you, that you just don't get those urges anymore. Oh yeah, you're able to lock in. No, everybody has those urges. Like, don't lie to yourself. Don't, like, push those feelings aside. What I would do in that case, I'm not like that, but what I would do in that case is I would first of all confront the fact that it's like, yeah, I do have these fucking urges inside me. Yeah, I do want to, like, fuck these girls. I do have that urge. What I would do is I would get the ability to get them. I would get the ability to attract girls, and then I would choose not to be with them. If you can do that, which by the way most people can't, if you're like a Christian and you say, oh, I don't want to be with girls, but you're just like the person I described, if you're a Christian and then you have the ability to choose if you want to be with a girl or not, then I'll respect you. But if you're like most Christians, then if you have the ability to choose, you will choose to do it. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. Whether you like it or not, like, most 99% of people will easily give in to temptation. Because most of these like religious people don't have play. They don't get attention. And the moment they do, it's like, oh my god, yeah. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. Because I've seen it happen like countless times. What I would do is I would just like face those urges. I would just face the reality. Because if you don't face reality, then it's like, just fucking click off this video at this point. Come on, like, step number one is just face reality, bro. Just accept the truth. Anyway, all of these tie into the final thing that I'm going to tell you. It's a routine. Literally doing the exact same thing every single day. Or like, you have something different every day, but your week is basically exactly the same. Copy and paste it every fucking day, like 52 times for the whole year. This will make the biggest difference, like fucking huge. If you don't, I have a routine on my wall right here saying like, oh yeah, wake up at 6:30, do that, meditate, whatever. I'm telling you, a routine can go so long because it structures your life in a way that keeps you accountable. Most people don't have that. Most people, they can like take a look at my routine, take a look at the wall, my routine, my calendar on my phone, and they'll be like, whoa, what the fuck, I could never do that. Every fucking hour of my day is structured. I know exactly what to do. And if I don't hit it, guess who's going to face the consequences? Me. I'm going to keep myself accountable. When you're creating a routine, create it with the 4 things that I just told you in mind, where you want to do something that you're passionate about, something that you care, gym, meditation, and socializing. You want to keep those 4 things in mind while creating your routine. And then you can add other stuff, more like recreational stuff, lock-in moments, you get what I mean. The hardest part about a routine, voice crack. The hardest part about a routine is the first 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks is, I saw a study where it takes like 14 to 20 days or something like that to create a habit fully. So give yourself 2 weeks. Full discipline mode. I'm telling you, I'll give you permission this time to like not give a shit about anything else other than this routine. Literally just lock in for this routine. Make sure that you create that habit, the habits in your routine. Make sure you lock them in, and then you can start enjoying it. Because at that point, once you make sure that you actually have them in, then you don't have to worry about not missing them because they're already like sort of like repeated. You know that you're going to do them, like whether you like it or not. You know that like whether what happens, you are going to do it. So the first 2 weeks are the most important. The first 2 weeks, make sure that you actually are doing them, because that way you can ensure that you will be creating this habit. And the final thing that I'll leave you with for this video is to start pursuing mastery. Pursuing mastery in the sense, like, the passionate thing that I told you at the beginning. Find something that you're passionate about. Pursue mastery in this, because this mastery, this sense of progress, is what makes us happy, is what makes us way more fulfilled than other things. Like, for example, if I care about being a doctor, I'm really passionate about being a doctor, I'm going to be way more happy pursuing the mastery, like literally being a master, having a doctorate. I'm going to be way more happy pursuing that than being passionate about it but not doing anything about it. I'm going to be way more happy, because that's the ironic thing. A lot of people think doing the fun habits makes you happy. It's the hard habits that make you happy. That's the ironic thing. Most people have it backwards. We have to start doing the good things, and then we'll start enjoying life. If you start doing the good things, then you'll start hating life in a way. You'll start to see everything as gray. Either way, that's pretty much it. If you follow everything I told you in this video, then you will change your life. Every 3 months, you'll change your life in 1 year. So please do subscribe, like button, hit the like button. Please do comment. It really does help out the channel a lot. If you actually made it this far, then I full respect to you, bro. Boom, fist bump. Anyway, that's pretty much about it. I'll see you next time.